While everyone else on the internet is talking about the CSGO scandal and how knives are now priced at the value of a gallon of milk, I'm here to talk about the things that actually matter. Like, how do you pronounce the title of this game? Well, according to the creepy Google mouth, it's
Ninja Gaiden.
So that's what I'm going to be going with for the rest of the video. Guiding these nuts. What's up, guys? My name is Guhi. I make commentary style videos on the latest games released, and today we're talking about Ninja Gaiden 4. Playing through this game made me realize how long it's been since I played a proper hack and slash game, which also made me want to look into and I guess analyze the game genre as a whole, hence the title. I'll get into my thoughts on the game, but first I want to make it clear that I don't mean hack and slash is dead, as in it's no longer being made, obviously, or that it's a failure in sales. Not completely. I mean, it's simply not as popular as it once was. It's just easier to title it the death of a genre rather than are hack and slash games maybe not as popular as they once were before because the genre has become nuanced and has been built upon in a better way by other genres, or maybe it's not the death but an evolution of what it once was because maybe the new generation just doesn't understand the point of combos, and it could also be looked at as a button mashing game, but that wouldn't be a very good title. First of all, how insulting. Button mashing? You can call me horseface, you can say my voice is annoying, you can insult me from head to toe with every name in the book and I would forget to give a fuck, but button masher? That is a slur. Listen, I am not a button masher, okay? I am a deliberate button presser. I am a intentional button connoisseur. I'm gonna show you guys how I spelled this in my script because what the fuck is that? There's people out there that miss the entire mark when it comes to hack and slash games. They just do not understand the genre. But don't worry, I'm here to explain it to you. I am a genius after all. This guy, for example, is on Cuckoo Planet saying this about hack and slash games. It doesn't take any skill or finesse to do combat. Do combat. Today I wake up and do violence. Tomorrow I do combat. All you do is run around, spam attacks, and run outside to heal if you have to. Honestly, I'll give this person the benefit of the doubt. If you're not into these types of games, if you don't play them and you're just watching them on YouTube or wherever it is that you watch your videos, I can see this being mostly true. That's exactly what the game looks like from the outside in. However, to say that it takes no skill or finesse when that's the entire point of these types of games, that's where the statement just loses all credibility to me. Skill, finesse, and style are the literal ingredients for a good hack and slash title, and if it's done right, it's difficult enough to punish button mashing. Get those button mashers off my lawn. Definitive hack and slash games are actually very similar in, I guess, gameplay to fighting games in that, yes, you can button mash and you might get somewhere with it here and there, but if you fight somebody who actually knows the combos and the counters and the timing and took the time to learn the game, you're gonna get your shit pushed in with a broomstick. I've set myself up here to test button mashing. As you can see, I have the controller here on screen, which should be reacting to what I press. I'm gonna do this in 3 stages. The first is gonna be no thought behind my head button mashing. The second is gonna be a little bit more intentional where I'm getting out of the way when I need to, etc., but it's still no combos and everything like that. The third is how I normally play, where I'm actually trying combos, actually trying to parry, actually trying to do the perfect dodge and everything like that. I don't want you guys to think that I'm a god at this game, okay, because I don't want to claim that, but I do intentionally press buttons, and so I want to see the difference between the first and the last. All right, button mashing. No thoughts whatsoever, just all the buttons. Oh, whoops, maybe not that button. All right, this is not looking too good for my theory here. I'm kind of dogging these guys, dude. Why am I not dying? I'm playing on normal, by the way. I feel like I should say that. Bro, what the fuck? All right, I didn't expect this to go this well. Why am I even trying in this game, dude? I could just do this the whole time. Are you fucking kidding me right now? This upsets me a little bit, if I'm honest. All right, I didn't do it. At least, you know? I got further than I thought I would, I will say that. Attempt number 2, I'm just mashing the light and heavy attacks right now. It's going really well. Meanwhile, when I try to do combos, I just get absolutely dicked on. What the fuck, bro? It's hard to do this without thinking of combos, you know what I mean? Because I've been practicing the entire game trying to do these combos and stuff, and all of a sudden I'm telling myself, don't do it. Don't think about it. Maybe I should have gotten somebody that hasn't played the game to try to beat this section. That would have been a little bit more of a valid experiment. No, I did a combo. Fuck! It's not a very good test, is it? Just yeeted that guy off the face of the planet. Oops, I accidentally did something good. I guess that is the point of button mashing. Accidentally doing really cool shit. Alright, I think this is the last guy, so I'm just gonna let myself die, and then we'll go into the 3rd phase of the experience. Oh, no way, I beat it. Ah, shit, yeah, they explode. Oh, I beat it on accident. Without trying. This experiment is over. All right, so I was wrong. I will happily admit to it. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I really just did this to make a point and prove myself wrong. How fucking I'm gonna keep this in the video. I don't care, dude. It's only fair. Listen, I'll still stand behind some of the tougher fights being more difficult if you're button mashing, but I mean, I can't say anything about it now. I've been proven wrong. It's not as fun, I will say, to just play like that without any thought behind your head. I like doing the combos. I like doing the finesse, and I probably didn't get as high of a score. I guess I can't tell now because I just beat it and I have no way of going back to before the fight, but still. Well, there you have it. This is my very first Ninja Gaiden game, and I gotta say, instantly hooked. I was under the impression that there's only 4 games. I wonder what gave me that idea. But there's actually 77. That's an exaggeration, by the way. How many are there? I don't care. There is an entire Ninja Gaiden iceberg underneath those 4 mainline titles, and from what I can tell, the lore is ridiculous. In the beginning of Ninja Gaiden... In the beginning, saying beninging instead of beginning is what's throwing me off. In the beginning of Ninja Gaiden 4, the main character's on a mission dictated by an ancient prophecy passed down for generations within his ninja clan. It's quite possibly the most important mission he's ever been on in his ninja career. And within the first hour of the game, this random chick just convinces him to abandon the mission. I think I know why. She's got really pretty eyes. All of a sudden, we're on a mission to do the exact opposite of what we set out to do in the beginning, and I immediately love this game. Rose's moral compass is so flimsy that it immediately folded after a gust of wind with huge tits flew in. And I find that hilarious. The story is one of those things that you enjoy because it's bad. Like one of those bad movies that you watch and it's fun to watch because it's just got a lot of charm. I don't think this game is supposed to be bad, at least not from what I can gather, but it's bad. Dramatic voice lines said in the most serious tone, but it's just the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard. That's pretty much the entire game. I couldn't even take the tutorial seriously. I kept hearing, oh, Ninja Gaiden games are so hard, this and that, so I was really invested in learning the game properly, and then they hit me with an Unga Bunga tutorial disguised as the most complicated thing in the world. You learn things like flying bird flip, and it's just a wall jump. Fatal flash, that's a parry. Obliteration finisher, that was just my nickname in high school. They changed the simplest of things and give them new names to make them sound more badass, and I couldn't help but to giggle the whole way. They have demons, but it's not just any demons. Demons spelled with an A. The A stands for although those things can be seen as negatives, none of that really bothered me because the story is paired with extremely responsive, fast-paced gameplay, and the combat never stopped expanding and adding new things. Fast as fuck, boy. It has simple yet satisfying world traversal, and it's got a plethora of side stuff to do. That, along with badass cinematic animation, sound designs, and aesthetics, it secured itself a spot in my heart. The only thing that truly annoyed me was getting out of a long cutscene, taking 2 steps forward, and then going into another cutscene. Why do games do that? Is it testing me to check if I'm still paying attention? Because I'm not. There's a lot going on in this game. Combat unlocks, weapon unlocks, more weapons, more unlocks, more inputs. Help is what I felt. Help me. The game looks like a whole lot of hoopla when watching it from the outside in, but it's very fun if you're intentional with learning the combos, timing and counters, and actually taking the time to learn the game. Everything works together so seamlessly, from the dodging to the blocking to the parrying to the hitting to the doing combat. Everyone's saying that this game is difficult, and it's really not as hard as I thought it was gonna be. I definitely went through getting raw dogged by a fair amount of sections, to be honest with you, but it's miles easier if you take your time and implement what you upgrade into your combat, using the practice range to learn all your moves. I guess that's the biggest difference between this and like other games where it doesn't hold your hand in having you practice the new things. You just got to do that on your own. And when you get those combos down, let me tell you something. It's very fun. That's it. A quick mid-vid reminder to like the video if you've been enjoying it so far. The more likes we get, the more people see this video, the more we grow and go into my world domination plans. So please like and subscribe. Thank you. Let's get back to the video. I didn't know this prior to doing research for the video, but the term hack and slash actually came from tabletop games to describe players who were always in combat, obsessed with fighting anything and everything. That cup is looking at me weird. Roll a d20 to punch it in the face. Basically the Leroy Jenkins of D&D. Today, it's used to describe games that are, quote, centered on fast-paced melee combat against large numbers of enemies, unquote. My definition of hack and slash games goes a little bit deeper into that with a focus on combos and timing. It's not just fighting waves of enemies, but it's fighting them with style and varying your combat. It's not just about beating the level, but actually using skill and finesse to get higher scores, differentiating this genre from other action-adventure games. True hack and slash titles, in my opinion, include Darksiders, Devil May Cry, Nier Tomato, Bayonetta, Metal Gear Rising, the early God of Wars, and of course, Ninja Gaiden. Most of these titles were extremely popular and a lot of them were coming out in the early 2000s, but now we rarely see a release of a definitive hack and slash title. Even God of War changed up their gameplay to modern action adventure games. I've seen games like Elden Ring shoved into this genre, and I couldn't disagree more. Not only is it a Souls-like through and through, but it's like saying cheese is beef because both come from cow. Yes, they have some relation to each other, but they're clearly not the same shit. Or is it? It's not. There's an evolution of the genre here. We're seeing more hybrids of Souls-likes and hack and slash that adapt a lot of mechanics from these different genres to make action adventure games rather than just pure hack and slash titles. I think out of any FromSoft game, if you're gonna shove it into a hack and slash genre, Sekiro is the closest you're gonna get because it's faster paced and it's got more of an emphasis on combos. Stellar Booty is another Souls-like that has a lot of hack and slash elements to it, and so on and so forth. The point that I'm trying to make here is that the combination of action adventure game evolution with modern mechanics has led to this steady decline in definitive hack and slash games popularity. Did I say hack and slash so much in this video? Hack and slash. Hashling and slasher. Souls-likes were on a different boat, but headed in the same direction towards the waterfall of impending doom. They were getting ready to be phased out as a new generation of action adventure games was being developed. It was a game genre that was always considered a niche, much like hack and slash, hashling and slasher games, until it caught mainstream traction with Elden Ring. There, they modernized the mechanics enough to make it popular, but not so much that it made the game lose its identity as a rip out your hair simulator. It's an RPG where you play as the victim. I don't think collectively people don't want difficulty. I think collectively gamers want quality of life. Games were tough back in the day, not just because of the gameplay, but because of things like permadeath and the lack of checkpoints. Back in my day, you used to have to beat the whole game without dying. Do old people do this a lot? I feel like old people do this a lot. Maybe not, because their wrist would fall off. But yeah, you had to beat the game without dying because of the limited capabilities of saving in those types of games out of the consoles, but now we make challenges out of that type of shit. No hit runs? Suck my ass, unemployed Sally, I'm not doing that. But don't get me wrong, I don't think a quality of life feature exists that's gonna make somebody that doesn't like difficult games all of a sudden love Dark Souls. What I am saying is that more people enjoy games for the challenge that the gameplay brings, not for the punishing lack of mechanics. I bring this up because I want to debunk the argument that modern gamers don't want hard games anymore. This was a reoccurring theory and brought up in forums and other things that I was looking at, where people speculate that the lack of popularity for Ninja Gaiden and other hack and slash games stem from the fact that people don't want difficult games anymore. I personally don't think this is true at all. One, because Elden Ring broke records, and two, because more recently, Silksong broke records. If those games aren't considered hard, then explain all the times that I cried. If there's any game that can do the same thing that Elden Ring did to revive Souls-likes to the hack and slash genre, it is Ninja Gaiden 4. I think it's a great game, it modernizes the genre, and it brings so many good mechanics to the table while still feeling like a true hack and slash experience. Platinum Games is just built different with these types of games. They know what they're doing when building hash slashes. The thing is, I don't think it's doing that well. I don't really know. Outside of the things that I've looked up for this video, I haven't seen too much about the game online. I often reference a lot of stats and numbers on my channel, and it's not to reflect whether or not I think a game is good. It's only to get a bigger picture on public perception of a game or genre. For example, something not selling well could be an indicator that the game is dog shit, but it could also be the case of lacking popularity, putting it in that underrated games category. Getting that information outright for Ninja Gaiden 4 right now is very difficult because it's on Game Pass. Sales and numbers aren't publicly available yet, and Steam charts are going to show deflated percentages of people playing on PC. Regardless, Steam reviews are very positive, with people praising this style of game coming out in 2025, which mirrors again the sentiment that I brought up earlier in the video. People still want to play difficult games. Hack and slash games are not dying because they're bad necessarily. They're just being phased out and adapted in different ways, creating a new action adventure genre. That's what I think, and you should listen to me because I am a genius. I'm just fucking with you guys. Listen, I'm not a genius, I'm just a stupid YouTuber, but if you want to see more videos like this in the future, don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye! Let me get this straight. Battlefield, a game that has historically never gotten even close to the numbers that COD has pulled over the years, has not only outperformed, but some might agree with me, humiliated Call of Duty with the release of Battlefield 6.